Got ourselves a nice foggy Oregon morning. 6 pallets of 80-pound premix concrete. I think it's 14,000 pounds. I'm not sure. Got our retrofit around the current slab foundation. Got Simon and Skylar really looking forward to moving 12,000 pounds of concrete. We do have a pallet jack so they can move the pallets of concrete closer to where they're working, so they're not moving the bags as far. We have 2 MudMixers. One is the special green edition for Sunbelt rental, and the other one is just the standard. We do have 1 hopper, so I don't know how the boys are going to work on that. But the plan is we will stagger the pallets along the lines, so we always have kind of a pallet that's close by, and the guys aren't carrying the bags more than 5 to 10 feet to the machines. I'm guessing 3.5 hours. What's your guess?
To finish the pour?
To finish just the footing. So
probably 5 or 6.
5 to 6 hours. Simon, what do you think? You actually have some of the most experience with this, with John and Kiwi's pour. That was 2 yards.
It was clumping out kind of slow though. So
They do pump slow, but they're consistent. Do you remember how long it took us at John and Kiwi's for those 2 pallets?
Like 6 hours ago.
Was it 6 hours?
Something like that.
I think he's misremembering, but I'll have to go back. I'm saying it's going to be 3 to 4 hours with the 2 machines. We will see. So Simon ran to another job site to get some more extension cords. Skylar's over here. This is his 3rd bag going. We're averaging, let's see, probably 1 bag a minute. So it's going to be 45 minutes for a yard of concrete. So with the 2 of them, looking at 2, 3, 4 hours. It shouldn't take all day, but we'll see. We'll keep playing with it and see where we get going here. We're just trying to do a 6-inch footing. So we're getting there. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark those 2x3s with a depth gauge so we can see where we're at. We're trying the hopper extension. He had a half a bag in it already, then full bag. This is the 3rd, 2.5 bags. You could probably do 2.5 to 3.5, 3 full bags with that hopper. I don't know what they recommend, but he's getting a nice little pile right there. I think you might need to thin it up a little bit, or it's a pretty good slump. Pretty good progress. We've run into a couple little hiccups today, but customers are on vacation, so we don't have access to the house, and we popped their GFIs. So ran down to our local Harbor Freight and picked up a 2,000 watt little Predator generator. So we got 1 running on the generator, 1 running on the outlet on the outside of the house that's still not popped yet. And hopefully we can get these things wrapped up. but I think we're at 2 hours of full work and we're about halfway done. We've got over here in this corner, all the way around, and almost this side done. So Simon's got Skylar's got about 5 feet before he bumps into Simon's, and then Simon's sitting at about another 5-6 feet to the end of this one. So it did sprinkle on us a little bit. So you're seeing a little bit of water on some of these forms, or on some of the footing. But no, it's going pretty good. Obviously it's not as fast as a line pump or a crane pump, or having a cement truck come out. But as far as a small guy like me that has a couple employees, my guys are not what you consider concrete finishers. But they are skilled labor, which means that they have enough smarts to figure things out. And these MudMixers are a pretty simple machine that pretty much any kind of a skilled labor person can figure out. Now, whether or not that same person has the proper concept for what the concrete's supposed to look like, you just pop it. All right, so now we're gonna find out if this little Predator will run both of them. So that's gonna be a fun challenge. See what happens there. All right, to be continued. All right, here we are about 2 months later, 3 months later, after that project's all finished. Skylar and Simon were both right, I was wrong. It ended up being about 6 hours of setup, troubleshooting, and mixing and cleaning. So we had about 5 hours of actual mud mixer running and making concrete for us, or mixing the concrete up. Then we had about an hour of downtime with getting the generator all set up after losing the GFIs. And then we also had about another hour of cleanup at the end of the day. So it was about a 6 hour day, about 4.5 hours of actual mix time. We had a grand total of 15,120 pounds of concrete that those two guys mixed up with the two mud mixers. That was 189 bags of 80-pound Quikrete. Pretty impressive. If we got ourselves a pretty cool little plane going up overhead. Yeah, there's an airport, a little airport right over here. The MudMixers. So again, this is part one. Part two is where we're doing the stem wall, doing all the forms, and then I'm going to do an overall view or video of the project itself. I think the MudMixers are a fantastic tool. This is not sponsored by them. This is not, I paid full price for the rental on the machines, paid full price for all the concrete, the delivery. The reason we went MudMixer on this is, number one, I wanted to make a video about them. Number two, as a small remodeling contractor, I don't have a large concrete finishing company on speed dial. I can't just say, hey, I've got this project, I need you there, drop everything and come do it. I've got a couple really good finishers that I've used, but they run big businesses and they have to keep their guys scheduled out months in advance. And I don't always know when my schedule is going to be ready for a short load of concrete for them to take a full day or half day. So it just makes sense for me to have the flexibility of my schedule. And when the weather permitting and my guys are available, to grab a couple MudMixers from the rental yard. I think the total cost of those was $150 for one day. Two of them, $75 a day. And, yeah, then the pallet jack was another 30 or 40 bucks for the day. It was, this guy, the airplane. It is not cheaper. The MudMixer and mixing by hand or mixing with the guys is not cheaper than hiring. Okay, the MudMixers are not cheaper. They are more convenient for my schedule. Not convenient for my employees, not convenient for anything else, but it is more convenient for me to build the schedule around it. That's what I like about it, is it gives me the production. That's a tough word to use with these. It gives me the ability to do a decent volume of concrete without needing to schedule the cement truck, the pump truck, or even a subcontractor altogether. So that's what I like about them. Are they perfect for everything? No, they're not. Are they great at a few things? Absolutely. I think they're worth every penny if you're going to rent them or buy them. I do. I just think they're a great tool to have around. I enjoy the renting part of it because it's, a $2,000, $3,000 machine that we're going to use 3 times a year. So yeah, it just makes sense to keep in the rental for me. All right, so that's part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. See ya. About 5 hours of going with these mixers.